As Bison and Shadaloo's influence kept going unchecked, many warriors felt the menace of the mad dictator as his dark energy affected the balance of nature itself. Rose, a fortune teller from Italy, has kept an eye over Bison for a while and has been checking on many fighters that could contribute to Bison's defeat. Rose is a master of a mysterious power known as soul power, but what many did not know is that Rose knew Bison more than anyone. In fact, she knew him before he turned to the dark side, as Bison was Rose's mentor. Their bond, however, was deeper than that. Through their use of the soul power, Bison and Rose have their souls intertwined, as if both warriors shared the same soul. Bison, feeling the soul power as weak, would later adopt a different side to it, called the psycho power, before embarking on his world-dominating goal. Soul power and psycho power were two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other, and the same is true for both Rose and Bison. The death of one of them could mean the demise of both. Rose, fully knowing the danger Bison poses to the world, decided to take on the mad dictator and challenged him directly. Rose fought with all her soul power might, but was no match for Bison's psycho power, who decided to leave Rose behind and continued his mad plan. While Bison's plan still was unknown, he clearly is showing interest in the man who defeated Sagat, the Japanese wanderer Ryu. Bison's army grew in numbers. One particular faction of his army, however, was feared for its swift action, merciless acts, and unparalleled compliance. The unit in question is called the Elite Guards, but also had another infamous name, the Dolls. This special assassination unit is second only to the Shadaloo kings, and is made of 12 young women who take orders only from Bison and would follow them in an almost robotic fashion. One of these members is the doll agent known as Killer Bee, and was Bison's favorite. She had an impeccable task record of assassinations, which made the dictator himself ordering her to head to India and assassinate a known individual who might seem like he could create a hurdle for the Psycho Power Master's grand plan. This individual is known as the Yoga Master Dalsim. Dalsim was a yogi and guru who had the respect of his country. Through his teachings, Dalsim taught his disciples and followers the road to self-enlightenment. Although peaceful and with few words, Dalsim is also a powerful warrior who is believed by his followers to possess the control of the mythical firepower of Agni. This is something that Killer Bee would find true, as upon meeting and attacking the Yoga Master, Bison's favorite doll found herself in trouble, as she was no match for the wise Dalsim. But the latter felt something odd within the assassin, a lack of will, almost a lack of soul. During their fight, Dalsim, using his mystical power, took hold of Killer Bee's mind and somehow unlocked it. It would appear that Killer Bee, much like the other dolls, had been brainwashed by Bison into subordination. Feeling free yet confused, Killer Bee leaves the scene looking for answers, and above all, looking for memories. As for Ryu, the wandering warrior continued traveling the world and fighting multiple warriors. During his travels, the young fighter found himself suddenly ambushed and caught in an illusion. It was Rose. The fortune teller has finally found the person she believes can end Bison's reign. She explains to Ryu that Bison is also seeking Ryu's hidden power, the Satsui no Hado. Before disappearing, Rose foretells and warns Ryu that defeating Bison might cost the wandering warrior his very soul. Confused by this information, Ryu decides to seek the Shadaloo leader. Following his battle with Ryu, Ken started to doubt his motives and whether he should follow the path of martial arts now that he has a person in his life, Eliza, whom he wants to settle down with. But fate had it that the young master's heir met with Sakura and Karin. The latter is a heiress to the powerful and rich Kanzuki family. Seeing the rivalry between Karin and Sakura ignited the passion for fighting and reminded Ken of his rivalry with Ryu. Learning about Shadaloo and Bison, and how the latter might be interested in Ryu, Ken decided to seek the Mad Dictator to stop his plan. Ken was not the only one on his way to challenging Bison's reign, as Charlie Nash and the US Army were able to locate the Psycho Power Master in a remote mountain area in Brazil. Charlie decided to take on the Mad Dictator alone, rather than wait for reinforcement or his best friend Guile. While Nash, though, initially had the upper hand, the tables quickly turned, as a helicopter came to Bison's help and fired upon Charlie. It was then that Bison delivered the final blow that ended Charlie's life and sent his body down a nearby waterfall. The US Army lost contact with Charlie, and without evidence of his death, the military commander was presumed MIA. This event will change the life of Nash's best friend Guile forever. Upon hearing the news, Guile, known as a family man with a wife and daughter, leaves everything behind and embarks on a journey to find his friend and defeat Bison and Shadaloo. Killer Bee, who is now free from Bison's mind control, wandered the world looking for answers. Being Bison's favorite doll, the dictator sent his most trusted assassin, Vega, to track the missing doll and find whether she's still loyal to him. Vega tracked the ex-assassin and the two fought in a brutal fight that gave Killer Bee a permanent, minor, face scar. Vega, who was always jealous of why Killer Bee was regarded as a powerful warrior and one of Bison's favorite, decided to stop the fight. He then decided to reveal the truth to the amnesic fighter. Before fleeing the scene, Vega revealed that Killer Bee is a clone, an experiment for Bison to use at his will, and that the rest of the dolls are all mind-controlled guinea pigs. Shocked, angered, and sad, Killer Bee decides to take on Bison and free the rest of the dolls. Wandering the world, Ken Masters has finally found himself face to face against Bison. It turns out that the Shadaloo leader was also tracking Ken, revealing to him that he wants to test his Ansatsukin skills and use him as bait to get to Ryu. Ken fought with all his power, but was no match for Bison. Upon his defeat, Ken was captured by Bison and taken to his secret lair, where he was subjected to mind control using Bison's newly developed secret weapon, the Psycho Drive. This technological invention's true purpose remained unknown. Ryu, hearing about his friend going missing after taking on Bison, tracks his friend's whereabouts and was surprised to see Ken, his childhood friend who trained with him for years, showing no emotions and ready to attack. Ryu quickly realized that Ken is under the control of Bison. The two fought each other. Unlike himself, Ken was embracing a violent urge and was fighting to kill Ryu. After a difficult fight, Ryu was able to defeat the violent Ken, freeing him from the Shadaloo's mind control. Amused by the fight, Bison reveals to Ryu his true intentions and how his machine, the Psycho Drive's real purpose, is to transfer his mind to another body. It turns out that Bison understood that no matter how strong and powerful he gets, his body will one day fail him, and in order to grasp the ultimate power, he needs to ascend the limitations of the human body. One way he thought of achieving this is to be able to transfer his consciousness to other bodies when current ones are no longer at their peak, making him immortal. And he wants Ryu as one of these potential vessels. Ryu, angered by what transpired, promises to end Shadaloo's reign and attacks Bison. Yet the young Japanese fighter was no match for the dictator, as he has yet to recover from his violent match against Ken. Defeated, Ryu was taken aboard Bison's ship and put under the Psycho Drive mind wipe device, something that Sagat, Bison's right-hand man and Ryu's rival, did not agree with, and made him question his decision to join Shadaloo in the first place. Bison's psycho power channeled to Ryu through the Psycho Drive awakened the Satsui no Hado within the young martial artist, turning him into an unstoppable force. Coincidentally, many fighters found their way to Bison's headquarters around the same time. Both Sakura and Karin find Ken, and the three of them try to distract Bison as Ryu fight against his eternal rival Sagat. Sagat, unhappy about Bison's method, urged Ryu to snap out of it. And through their fight, Ryu finally regains control of his body, understanding that Bison is an evil force that needs to be stopped. Ryu is now face to face with Bison, the man who caused the world so much pain and suffering. A fight unlike anything Ryu has seen took place. Bison easily gained the upper hand, but as Ryu channeled some of his Satsui no Hado, as well as the love and care that his friends have given him throughout the years. Ryu attacks with a massive Shoryuken that sent Bison's body flying in the air. Trying to recover from this powerful attack, Bison stood up, only to find himself disintegrated. The defeated dictator rushed to use this powerful machine to transfer his consciousness somewhere safe. As he tries to use the Psycho Drive, the heroes use their combined powers to destroy the machine, and with it, Bison's body disintegrated into thin air. With Bison gone, Ryu and Ken are reunited along with Sakura, Karin, and all the other fighters who joined the fray. Ryu thanks Sakura for her help and explains to her, yet again, that he cannot be her mentor, and that he promises her another fight in the future. Ryu then decides to wear the red headband that Ken gifted to him sometime prior, indicating that he is now on a new path. The young hero then walks away towards another unknown journey and an unknown destiny. Killer Bee has also made it to the base with a mission to free the dolls, but the massive explosion caused the free doll to lose consciousness. She would later wake up in front of the British embassy, not remembering anything beforehand. The world thought Bison is gone, but the truth is far from that.